This program is called Focus, and today we're focusing on PCWA. With me, Andy Fecko. He's the general manager. The future. Let's talk about that for a minute.
Yep.
Well, before I do that, let me ask you this one other question about where we are now. We're a political division, but we're also a water division.
Mm-hmm.
And so how does this stack up against other counties throughout the rest of the state? Are they at a position where they can do what you do?
So we're very, very fortunate because Placer County is, through good governance for a long time, has come up with a model where we have adequate funding to kickstart these initiatives, right? And the water agency has customers, and so we have some capital we can put at this. And so Placer County is unique in that way. I think Nevada County has some of these capabilities, and I know that my friends over at the Nevada Irrigation District are working very, very hard on similar programs. Jennifer Hansen's their new general manager up there, and she's doing really fabulous work to try to do the same kinds of things we're doing in this county. El Dorado County, similarly positioned, they're going to try this same thing. I think Placer is unique in that we have enough residents, enough business base, enough tax base to be able to have a sustainable county, which is what I think residents want, right? They want to live in a sustainable place. That means we provide our own water supply, right? We make our own energy. We live where we grow our food. I mean, those are all parts of that sustainability part, and I think that is a unique factor of Placer County.
You mentioned a moment ago about a grant program.
Grant program, yep.
Now, you have more than one grant program. You were kind of focusing on the grant program that you were talking about at the time, but now you have other grant programs. I've been reading about that. Tell me about it.
Yeah. So the big thing for our customers, our water utility customers, right, is a rebate program to be more water efficient, right? And so what we do as a water agency is we provide water to homes and businesses and farms, a lot of farms. And what we want to do is stretch every acre foot of water we provide for maximum beneficial use. And what does that mean? That means that we try to make sure that we don't waste any water delivering water to you, but then when you get it to your residents or your farm, we want to make sure that you can put that water to maximum beneficial use. And the way we can help do that is through a rebate program. And so our rebate programs, for instance, if you have lawn that's purely decorative and you're not using it for anything really sort of beneficial and you want to replace it with low water use landscaping, we got a rebate program for that. If you've got old appliances, old washing machines that use a lot of water, and we want you to wash your clothes, we want you to have clean clothes, but we want you to use the most efficient washing machine that you can get, and we're going to help you buy one by providing you a rebate. And so this year in particular, because it's a dry year, you said drought, our board recognized that and doubled the funding for our rebate programs. It's a limited time thing, and it's going to end in September. And so we're really driving hard. And I know that our people tell me that our applications have doubled for that rebate program. It's still ongoing. People can still get to it. There are two ways to do it. Go to pcwa.net if you want to apply. There's an application process there. If you're not on the computer and you want to call us, 530-823-4850. Customer service rep will answer the phone. Tell them you're interested in the rebate program. They're going to get you all the information you need. We think it's going to be tremendously successful.
What's the future? Where do you see us 10 years from now?
Yeah, great question. So the future in Placer County, let me start with energy. We're looking at a lot of opportunities along with Pioneer Energy at how do we continue to build out renewable energy resources in Placer County. We've got some resources up here that we can put to use. We really want to focus on that. We've got some initiatives coming on that. I'm hoping that a decade from now, our forest management model that we have at French Meadows is going to spread to other watersheds that around us. And I hope that NID, and I think NID is going to do the same thing. And we're going to have a sustainable fuel source, right? So we're going to do all this work in the forest. I'm hoping that we're going to have some biomass facilities around us that can take advantage of that fuel source and make renewable energy out of it. I think water is we're going to have a lot of new infrastructure that's going to allow us to not have to worry about drought as much. These extreme dry years like we're experiencing this year, I'm hoping that the infrastructure we're going to build right here in Ophir, California, we're going to build a new water treatment plant, so your number will go up to number 9. And that Ophir water treatment plant is going to serve the new development that we see coming outside of Lincoln and outside of Roseville. We are planning for the future right now in building that so that water treatment plant is in place when those new residents show up. And I think it's going to be really good. And then I'm hoping that our communities, places like Auburn, places like Newcastle, Ophir, that have problems with wildfire are going to be better off. And through our grant programs, I'm really hoping that we're going to be able to make those communities a little bit more fire safe as we go forward.
Is this unique to the Sacramento area, or other sections of California have the same thing?
I think we're unique in this way. We're unique in that we're a major metropolitan area, if you think of the Sacramento region, that has 2 million people in it, that cooperates to an extent that we cooperate to an extent where we can use these resources cooperatively and share them in a way that makes us more sustainable. Think about that Sacramento region, Barry. If you think, where is it positioned? I think it's the most sustainable major metropolitan area in the entire state. What do I mean by that? We generate all of the electricity we need to run that metropolitan area between SMUD and PCWA and NID in the region, where we supply all the water. We don't have to import it from anywhere, like faraway places like Los Angeles. They have to import all their water. We have all the water resources we need right here. We grow our own food. The Sacramento region is surrounded by agriculture. We grow our own food here. We're at the hub of major rail transportation, right? It's a complete package here, and that is the unique aspect of this region. PCWA, the foothill communities, we're a part of that, but the region, I think, is unique almost anywhere in the United States as having a place that can stand on its own 2 feet. Does that make sense to you, Barry?
It does, absolutely. It's amazing. I have never known all of that, so you brought some real education to me today. The other thing that I've worried about over the past, and that is when you get a political situation where they say, we're going to force you to pump water south into the areas that don't have it. How do you protect yourself from that? In other words, how do you keep the bad guys from taking our water away and sending it south?
Boy, we've been thinking about that since we were formed in 1957, right? And every year that struggle gets more real. And so first is, the way you defend yourself is by being a responsible player. And that's what we're doing with our sustainability initiatives and all the rest. But at the same time is you got to be really strong on the legal front and on your regulatory front. And we have a team of people inside PCWA that thinks about how to defend this region's water use, how to defend our water supplies. We had some major victories, on that over the last decade. For instance, we relicensed our hydroelectric project. Federal Energy Regulatory Commission every 50 years has to get you a new license. Major effort. Took us 7 years. We spent a lot of money on it. At the end, we got a new license that allowed us to operate, to store water, and to supply our folks water. And we had a public process here that we ran in Placer County right here in Auburn. Everyone ended up happy in that process, including the local stakeholders. Took a lot of effort, but it can be done. It takes a lot of thinking and a lot of defense to make that work.
Andy Fecko, ladies and gentlemen, he's the general manager now with 14 years in this company. Again, 235 employees running 8 treatment plants, 165 miles of canal, and then 2 reservoirs. Plus, now we know that there's another big reservoir that Mother Nature is giving you, and you're just starting to play with it. And 5 hydroelectric generation plants. Andy, thank you. The focus here at KAHI this week has been on PCWA, Placer County Water Agency.